Sit down, Ron. Make yourself comfortable. Thanks, yeah, sit down. Get a chair for you. Sit down. Just sit down. There you go. Oh, I don't want you to sing. That's it. So you can see it now. First of all, I'd like to say what an honour it is to be invited to such a suspicious occasion. For Ron's birthday, his 80th, it really is a suspicious occasion. For I cannot believe he really believes he's the age he believes he is. Believe me. Now it's no coincidence that this is a red book, because Michael Aspel gave it to me. He said, Derek, he said, I've done some This Is Your Life in my time, but with Ron Williams, I've been taking my life in my hands. So he said, it's all yours, and may the Lord have mercy on your soul. So, where do I begin to tell the story of how great a life can be? The simple truth about the life of our Ronnie. Where do I start? Doug Evans, eat your heart out. So Ronald Frank Williams, this is your life. And it's a story that will bring Ron's 80 years vividly to life. So a word of warning before I carry on. This story is not suitable for those of you of a nervous disposition, because it contains strong language and violent scenes. But it won't affect anyone, though, who ever worked in the Townsman. 1921 was a momentous and controversial year. Hitler became president of the National Socialist Party. Hirohito became regent of Japan. Dr. Marie Stopes opened the world's first birth control clinic. But not everyone was in control. And the result was the birth of a serious competitor for Hitler and Hirohito, Ronald Frank Williams. He was born to music, born to it. In fact, the first human voices he ever heard was his mother and father singing, "Is you is or is you ain't our baby." The eventual christening was a little embarrassing, to say the least. When the vicar took the little bundle, right first time, from his mother's arms, he said, "And what name do you give us this dear little well-blessed boy?" And his mother said, "It's not that, you've got hold of my thumb, vicar." School days were no problem to Ron. When all the other kids were at 4s and 5s, Ron was at 6s and 7s. His father said to him one day, "What do you want to be when you grow up, Ronnie boy?" And Ronnie said, "I want to be a lollipop man, Daddy." "Why do you want to be a lollipop man, Ronnie?" "Because they don't start work till they're 65, Daddy." But now that Ron's grown up, there is no truth in the rumour that he is a bit tight-fisted. No truth. The rumour was started by a well-known Swansea tramp who knocked on his door one day and asked Ron for something to eat. And Ron said, "Well, do you mind eating last week's soup?" And the tramp said, "No, sir, I'm bloody desperate." And Ron said, "Okay, come back next week then." Anyway, one day he went to Palestine on holiday. You didn't know this, but he did. He went to Palestine on holiday, and on one of the guided tours, he ended up on the Sea of Galilee. And the guide said, "You can cross the Sea of Galilee for £50 in a canoe." And Ron said, "Christ, that's expensive, isn't it? 50 quid? He said, he said, "But Jesus walked on these waters." And Ron said, "No wonder at these bloody prices." And now for Ron's contribution to the war. Now you probably didn't know that Ron comes from a long line of fighting men. His great-grandfather fought with Wellington, another with Kitchener, and another with Earl Haig. He comes from the family that never seems to get on with anyone. So the day war was declared. He said he was not going to let his country down, he would remain a civilian. He had a nasty stomach complaint at the time, it's called no guts. No, I'm only kidding. The truth is, he told a lie. He told a lie about his age, right? Because he's saying that he was 18 when he was really only 17. So really, Ron, that makes you 79 now, doesn't it? And all of this is a waste of bloody time. So Ron joined the Royal Air Force, the British one, and rose to the rank of flight engineer on piano. Not easy playing a piano in a Spitfire, was it, Ron? With people like Emmanuel Ross, that's who he worked with. He was very good company, Oscar Rabin, Sid Lawrence, and the great Squadronettes. And he also became friendly with the now legendary blind pianist George Shearing. He did, escorting him home nightly. Although I think it was George who pointed Ron in the right direction eventually. He was then posted to the Bahamas, of all places, where he worked on the famous Catalina flying boats, teaching American air crew how to escape from them in emergencies. True? At war's end, it was back to Swansea with a lot of memories, experience, and a demob suit, which he still wears to this day. From the beauty of the Bahamas, he's back in the swim of Swansea and playing piano in the Pier Ballroom Mumbles. And it's there on December the 14th, 1946, he met Miss Beatrice Griffiths. He auditioned her and propositioned her there and then, and only 4 months later, on April the 7th, 1947, he signed her up for life. And despite his expertise at helping people escape from aircraft, he's never been able to get out of that one. Not that he ever wanted to, of course, because BT has stood by Ron through thick and thin, day and night, ever since. Let's hear it for BT. Moving on, and with the times, Ron bought one of those newfangled electric organs. This had all sorts of new effects on it, like flutes, saxophones, trumpets, trombones, and a bass pedal board, Martin. Do you know, the dance band musicians loved him. It also had a gadget on it called a rhythm box, as I remember, right? Which could put drummers on the scrap heap. Yes. But he needed me badly. But only because I could remember the middle eights of all the standards. And that was the birth of Swansea's Pied Piper of Pop, with his pixies and panoply of pie percussionists. Drummers like Les Clark, Aubrey Smith, John Steele, Paul Ainsley, and my old mate from the Blackjacks days, there he is, Peter James, great Peter James. The list of girl singers who warbled with Ron is vast. It's mind-blowing, especially for BT, who would often come home and find Ron with a couple of girls on the settee. One of these nervous hopefuls, who shall be nameless, turned up at the embassy one night, and Ron said, "And what would you like to sing, love?" And she said, "You got nothing." And he said, "What key is it in?" And she said, "I don't know," she said, "but it doesn't matter, he knows all the bloody words." Of course, they weren't all girls. One boy turned up looking as if he had just stepped out of Burton's window. Immaculate he was. But he sang as if he'd come via the pain. Now Ron should have realised what he was going to be like, because when he asked him what he was going to sing, he said, "Trouble over Bridgewater." But thanks to Ron, many of these stargazers became star ravers. A beautiful bevy of birds, Oh, and Bobby Wayne. And Doug Evans. You still singing Trouble Over Bridgewater, Doug?
Now again,
No, it wasn't him, was it? No. Anyway, remember the early days, Ron, with classy Christine Corvette?